Hi there, Allison here with another Cab Franc du jour. Today we are in Chinon and we're looking at the Joguet 2016 Les Charmes Chinon. This is one of several single-vineyard wines that Joguet produces. They have 40 hectares of Cabernet Franc vines planted across 4 distinct communes in Chinon: Beaumont-en-Véron, Chinon, Sazilly and Anché. Beaumont-en-Véron and Chinon are both on the right bank of the north side of the Vienne River, and Sazilly and Anché, they're on the left bank or the south side of the Vienne River. Now, this is a perfect opportunity to kind of take a step back a little bit and look at the overall vineyard landscape of Chinon as it relates to how the vines are situated along the Vienne River. Now, the nature in which the Vienne cuts through the appellation, the vineyard slopes generally face the river. So on the right bank, these vineyards will typically have a southern exposure, and on the left bank, the vineyards will typically have a northern exposure. Now, there are absolutely exceptions to this rule in Chinon, but generally speaking, this is kind of the lay of the land, and it's a great thing to keep in mind as you're tasting the wines from Chinon. Now, these northern exposed sites, they'll generally be a bit cooler, they'll have a little bit less intense sun exposure, and the vines will typically be the ones that are harvested a little bit later in the season as well. Today we're looking at Les Charmes, which is a lieu-dit in the commune of Anché, which is on the left bank or the south side of the Vienne River. It's directly across from the commune of Cravon-les-Coteaux, which is one I've spoken about a number of times before. There's 2 distinct soils here in Anché. We have these sandy, gravelly soils that hug the Vienne River, and then we have the clay limestone soils that are set back a little bit. Les Charmes is a 6-hectare lieu-dit that sits about 3 kilometers away from the Vienne River on these clay limestone soils, and this wine is actually coming from a 1.5-hectare parcel of vines that's towards the top of the slope. It gently slopes to the north, and the vines here have a shallower clay topsoil over that white chalky limestone bedrock. Vines here are around 30 to 40 years, and the wine was vinified in 60 hectoliter wood vats and then aged further in wood barrels, neutral older wood barrels. Now, immediately the nose does have a red fruit profile to it. I'm getting some nice cherry and raspberry notes, but certainly it leans a little bit savory, kind of spicy as well on the nose. The pyrazines are beautifully in balance, and they come through for me as like a nice thyme leaf note or other fine herbs. The fruit profile on the palate leans a touch tartar. It has a bit more of a cranberry note on the palate. And there's this lovely kind of whetstone, kind of graphite minerality going on in the mid palate as well. The acidity is very pronounced on this wine. It has this sort of sprightly, lively character. And then on top of that, we have these very fine, kind of tightly woven tannins. And it's literally like the combination of the acidity and these tannins are creating this super, super tense, taut profile in this wine, as if it's this little ball of energy kind of waiting to kind of relax and sort of show itself in a different way. So I do think that this wine needs a bit of time. I do have another bottle. I'll probably tuck it away for maybe 3 or 4 years, but you can certainly sense that this wine, while it's showing beautifully now, it does have a little bit more that it can give. In its current state, it's kind of reserved. It has this demure character. It's very finesse and elegance driven, but it certainly says that, oh, I have a little bit more to show you if you kind of be patient and hold back the other bottles. I don't know if any of you had this wine before. If you have, let me know what you thought of it. Let me know where it was at in its evolution. I'd love that kind of feedback as to what you thought. And of course, as always, I will be back again soon with another wine. Cheers.